Welcome to this video. In this tutorial, I would like to show you my backup strategy for a Paperless-ngx installation running on a Synology NAS. On this slide, you can see my setup structure and the components I use. I have a Synology DiskStation 923 Plus running Container Manager. Within Container Manager, I run 3 containers to be able to use Paperless-ngx. Aside from the paperless container itself, there is Redis and Postgres running. So let's see what a complete backup solution should include. First, you need a backup for your underlying system. In this case, it's a system and of course a device that is able to run Docker containers. Docker containers in general can be used with a variety of operating systems. To be totally clear, I haven't tested running Docker with another operating system different than Synology DiskStation Manager. For a worst case scenario, you also need a copy of the Docker images to be able to reinstall them. One way to do this is by using the exporter function of Container Manager. Be aware of the fact that this function includes either only the container image or in some cases the configuration of the container as well. Using the export function of Container Manager does not include any of Paperless-ngx data, so reinstalling your 3 containers will lead to an empty paperless installation. Today I would like to focus on the third part of a full backup strategy, which is backing up your container data, which means all your files, tags, correspondence, and changes made in Paperless-ngx. Visiting the Paperless-ngx website, you can find basically 2 backup options. Today I would like to focus on the document exporter function, which is easy to use even in the case that your NAS does not show you the Docker volumes. But I recommend reading through this article carefully, as another option might suit your situation better. So what does the document exporter do? The document exporter exports all your data, including your settings and database contents, from Paperless into a folder for backup or migration to another document management system. This includes documents, thumbnails, and a JSON file that contains all metadata from the database, correspondence, tags, and so on. The backup is incremental. If the target directory already exists and contains files, document exporter will assume that the contents of the export directory are from a previous export and will attempt to update the previous export. Document exporter will not remove any existing file in the export directory. Be aware that document exporter will only export changed and added files. Whether a file is within the changed and added category is determined by expecting file attributes such as the time last modified and size. However, you can specify that Paperless compares the files by checksum. After understanding what document exporter can do, let's hop into DiskStation Manager to set up a recurrent task to execute the document exporter function. I recommend activating email notifications for this task, as to me it's an important one. For this, open the Settings app, click on Notifications or Benachrichtigung, as it says on my screen, and make sure that you set up an email account to receive email notifications from. Then, on the Settings app homepage, click on Tasks or Aufgabenplaner, as it says on my screen, and create a new task by clicking on Create, Planned Task, Script. First, in the General tab, select the user with admin permissions, or at least permissions to execute the script we are creating. Second, let's set a schedule for this task. Taking a closer look into Paperless website, it is recommended not to use the exporter function while Paperless is consuming documents. So set a schedule as appropriate. In the Details tab, check if you would like to receive email notifications, and if so, enter the recipient's email address. Let's hop into presentation mode again and see what to enter in the script input field. Here I wrote down what to enter in the script input field. Change the directory to your paperless folder. If you do not know this, you can check the container configuration. Within the General tab, in the section Volume, the used folders are listed. Take the one in the row referring to the exporter folder. Make sure you enter the path name in quotation marks if it contains spaces. Then execute Document Exporter with admin permissions. You need to know the name of your container, which is displayed at the top of the container configuration. Do not change the reference to the export folder after Document Exporter. After executing the task, you should receive an email notification. Depending on the number of documents stored in Paperless-ngx, it might take some time. The email then shows how many documents are stored in this export. There you have it. I hope this video was helpful. If so, I appreciate your like and subscription.